Welcome, you guys, to Blaze City. It's your girl, Bella Cinderella. Happy Black History Month. Welcome. It's your girl, Bella Cinderella. Welcome to Blaze City. Happy Black History Month. So, you guys, I have a couple questions just before we get started. So, how has history impacted your life? Is one question. Since history has evolved, how do you apply it? How do you apply history in your life? And in what aspects has history impacted you, whether it's good or bad? Now, these are questions I will ask you guys later on, but we're just going to go ahead and get into it. So, we're going to talk about history. We want to thank all the people who have had a hand in making up and giving us the opportunities that we do have. So every day we are going to talk about someone who has impacted our history. How many know that? How many people know about the Algiers Hotel in Detroit, Michigan? Probably not a lot of people, because I'm one of those people who didn't know about it, and I have family in Michigan. So the Algiers Hotel, 1967, murders took place between July 25th through the 26th of 1967. So let me get into this about this for you guys. A riot task force, the Detroit Police, Michigan State Police, and the Army National Guard killed 3 civilians, abused 9 others. The 3 victims were teenage boys, 2 white women, and 7 black men. This was a 12th Street riot, racially charged. So the impact. 1967 was not the worst, was one of the worst since New York City riot of 1863. This riot resulted in 43 deaths, 1,189 injuries, and over 7,200 arrests, and more than 400 buildings destroyed. So I know y'all have seen a lot of TV when they talk about the riots that happen in different places, and especially when there's a particular movie, Dreamgirls, where they showed that they were rioting in Detroit, burning and looting. Algiers is a historical marker in Michigan now. It it was reopened as the Desert Inn in 1968. The motel had a manor where demolished in 1979. This was part of the Renewal Act project by General Motors. This was called the New Center, quote unquote. The hotel was located at 8301 Woodard Ave, between Woodard Ave and Virginia Park, and it is now an open space, which now they call it Virginia Park. So now let's talk about this actual riot. I just gave y'all a few details. So the riot started July 23rd, 1985. The Detroit police was 93% white, 43% were working in black neighborhoods, extremely anti-Negro. This began when a black owned business that hosted a blind pig for two Vietnam veterans who had returned safely, in which this was a basically a blind pig was an illegal bar. So this bar was raided. So in the process of this being raided, a group of people that were at the bar, stood outside while the police were outside. Well, allegedly, the son of the owner threw a bottle, and the people that were standing out, quote unquote, the mob, they followed suit. There was a lot of businesses that were affected by this riot, carrying over to many different districts. Within this, within this, the fire department was at a standstill for a fact of violence. So it was a fact of so much looting and so much violence going on that there were fires. Fire department could even get to places to help, kind of at least save some of people's businesses because the threat of being, the Army National Guard guardsmen were sent out as well as the state trooper and the U.S. paratroopers to patrol the streets. So, with this being said, they were also giving a curfew because of this. So, because of all that was going on, they were opted into having a curfew, but people do not listen. Now, the Algiers was considered the center of all illegal drugs and prostitution, and it was always raided. Now, you guys, I'm gonna tell you some of the people that stayed, excuse me, who stayed at the Algiers. Now, when this riot was going on, the Algiers was more or less of a hotel it was a safe haven. People flocked to this hotel for for safety. So there was one group they were called the Dramatics. It was a singing group out of Michigan. Um, Ron Banks, Larry Demps, Michael Calhoun. These three men were there, but they did leave prior to the riot happening. You also have Roderick Davis, who was 21, Larry Reed, who was 19, and their valet, Fred Temple. Now, the other people that also took refuge there was a man named Michael Clark, Carl Cooper, Robert Lee Green, James Sorter, Julie Ann Heisel, Karen Mallory, Charles Moore, Aubrey Pollard. These are all the people that potentially took refuge in this building. Now, out of all those names, there were 7 people that survived. Understand, you guys, every person that I named was under the age of 30. Under the age of 30. The youngest person out of the people that I named was 17. Remember in the beginning I told you 3 teenage boys was killed. One of those teenage boys was killed. His name was Carl Cooper. He was 17. There was Aubrey Pollard. He was 19. He was killed as well. And then the valet, Fred Temple, he was also killed. Now just think about how life has impacted us with all the things that have gone on. It's really crazy. You'll never expect that. I wouldn't even say you would never expect. It's just the fact of we never know the history of, we just don't know all of our history. And sometimes it takes for a significant, I wouldn't say turmoil, but a significant reason or a situation to happen for us to actually take heed to what history has been trying to tell us or because history is already foretold what some of our futures are already going to be because of what we've already been through and what has already come to pass. And I think sometimes we kind of take things for granted when it comes down to it. With that, this hotel is no longer, you guys. They literally demolished it, but now it is. If you ever in Michigan, go to Virginia Park. When you stand in Virginia Park, this was the Algiers Hotel. That land that you're standing on was a hotel where so many people had to hide just to try to survive. And it wasn't just black, it wasn't just white, it was a mixture of races just trying to survive. Now, this went on for a few days, you guys. Now, it took place, the murders, like I said, the murders took place between the 25th and the 26th. And do you know that what's crazy about that is the 26th of July is my birthday, which is really, awkward, but you never know what has happened in your past and what has happened in history until you look for things. And I know we always talk about particular people when it comes down to black history, but I want us to get out of our comfort zone and talk about everything when it comes down to history. There are a lot of people that we don't know or know about who have impacted our lives in so many different ways. And being the fact that when you don't know something, you have to ask questions. You have to research and you have to find and figure out what it is that you're trying to get that information about. Being that the Algiers Hotel, you guys, it was a very nice hotel. Like, it was really nice. But we have to understand when it comes down to, I say, equality and the way people picture us, or not even us as a race, as a human race. We are, some of us get the bad end of the stick, while versus others feeling more superior. But then you have those who are in the same caliber, who are looked upon, looked down on. For me, I feel like this, you guys. We all come with flaws and imperfections. None of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. But I don't feel like one race is better than the other. But being the fact that this is Black History Month, we are going to give our history their accolades. Because some of the people that have helped pave the way for us in this lifetime to achieve the goals and the dreams that we have right now and the opportunities that we have present, we need to give them their accolades. We need to give them their praise, their honor, give them their flowers even though they can't smell them. But it's the fact of they got honor that is due. Everybody wants to be acknowledged for something that they have done. And in our past, a lot of people were not acknowledged for their part in what they have done to help pave this world. Whether it be good or bad, there are a lot of people we just need to talk about. But for this month, we are only going to talk about Black history. And I just want to say happy Black History Month again. But you guys, for Black History Month, you still have Valentine's. It is coming up. But with that being said, every Sunday, you guys, I will have another person for us to talk about. So to get acclimated, everybody, every Sunday, just be looking forward to another podcast from your girl. And we always gonna get into it. And if y'all have any questions, I love to hear y'all's questions. I love to hear your feedback, any and everything. But let me get back to those questions that I did ask you guys in the beginning, because we're gonna talk about those again. We're also gonna talk about what is going on in this world. It is a month and 2 days into 2025, and we are in chaos. But that's for another subject. Hold tight to that one because I know a lot of people have something to say about that. But don't worry, The Breakfast Club gonna be with me when we talk about that one, and you already know how we get down. We finna talk about everything up under the sun. But let me get back to those questions. Remember, I asked how has history impacted your life? Since history has evolved, how do you apply history to your life? In what aspect has history impacted you, whether it's good or bad? Now, these questions I know probably have us thinking, like, why? Like, Bella, why? Why would you ask these questions? Because understand this much. Anytime we research and we try to find out new things, understand if it's written in a book, somebody had to figure it out. Past. Past meets the present, and the present becomes the future. Our past has a lot of stories to tell because somebody has already lived it, somebody has walked in it, but somebody has left us footprints to go back. They've left us breadcrumbs. If we wanted to research, we can always find our way back. This is what we're doing, you guys. There is always, as like a paper trail, there's always a trail to lead us back to the beginning. On this timeline, we're not in the beginning. It may be the beginning of a new start, but it is not the beginning. Now, we all have a purpose in this life, and in this purpose, it is to do what we can to leave our mark on this world. And for Black history, and for any history, not just Black history, just for American history, for worldwide history, for nationwide history, every race and ethnic background has a story to tell. And in that story to tell, it is only on us if we are willing to listen. Everything crafted, touched, painted, written has a story to tell. Sometimes we're just too closed-minded, too and blind to the fact of listening and hearing what things have to tell us. What I want to say, you guys, within this year, I want us to learn more, do more, appreciate the life and the opportunities that we do have. Because we never know. Time is not time is not allotted for anyone, and time waits on no man. But it's the fact of the time, with the time that you are given, make the most of this time. Make the most of doing whatever it is that drives you. We are we are accustomed to so much, and we ask and we deserve so much as a as humans. We deserve everything. But in deserving everything and wanting everything, it's the fact of you have to do the work. And sometimes in life we don't get the credit that is due to us. But later on we get our flowers and our story continues to be told. And that's what I want you guys to understand. When you leave your mark on this world, your story is already started. Your story has started when you were born. Make something of your story for it to continue to be told. All right, you guys. I know it was kind of deep, so I'm going to leave my email again. So if you want to hit me up, you can contact me on Spotify. You can comment under this on YouTube. You can get me on Apple Podcasts. Apple, you can get me on Prime. You can catch me on Castbox, XM Sirius Radio. I'm on a lot of platforms, you guys. Just look for Blaze City Podcast. If you want to email me, my email is kadibelle14@gmail.com. Make sure y'all get at me and let me know what is good. Understand, March is around the corner, you guys. Talent Tuesdays is coming. I have so many special guests that are going to be on the show this year. And I'm welcome for many other guests that want to try it out. Hey, so you guys, I have some people that are here that are entrepreneurs who are about to tell you how to get this money, how to get to this bag. Understandable, there's a lot that is going on that has been hesitant and making us stand still in the actions and our steps that we are trying to make. But don't worry, your girl has got you. Y'all know what to do. So I just want to tell you guys, thank y'all for letting me set y'all ablaze with my topics today. Happy Black History Month again. Want to say to all the survivors and the people who did lose their life with the Algiers Hotel, I give love and light. I pray that these families got the y'all, my brain just stopped. Got the peace that they deserve and got the clarification that they needed from the situation. I also want to give a to the people for the fires that were in California. I want to give my condolences to anybody who has lost their life. I know a lot of people lost a lot of their memories. I am apologetic for it, and I hope that within this week can be. I hope they figure everything out, and I hope those people find something to ground them to this. Because one thing I know for a fact, people, when it comes down to materialistic things, they can always be taken. But the memories that are kept, the memories that you have, can always be kept. That is something that can never be taken. Sometimes it's hard to be able to not reach out and touch things that you know that you've had, but the memory withstands it all. So my prayers go out to all the families and everyone that is hurting in this world who is going through something. I ask for love and light. I send positive vibes, hugs. I send it all to you guys. And I'm hoping that one day at a time, you guys, that we find our footing, we find what we need in this lifetime, and we get it right, and we make it count this time. So thank y'all for letting me set you ablaze. It's your girl, Bella Bella Cinderella. Love and light. Peace.